Stations, if you encounter any technical issues related to this live show broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 573-893-7477. Mark 2 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studio producers, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime. For today's live show broadcast on the Georgia Southern Sports Network. Stations, we are coming up on 1 minute until airtime. 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2, mark. 1 minute, stations. 1 minute until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studios, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime, on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds. Have fun.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Georgia Southern Sports Network. On the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield, presented by Morris Bank, this is Hail Southern Live. Live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Hot wings, cold beer, and good times. Coming up, your all-access pass into Georgia Southern athletics, including a visit with head football coach Clay Helton. Hail Southern Live is brought to you by Morris Bank. It pays to bank blue. Morris Bank, member FDIC. Eagle Nation Collective, the official NIL collective of Georgia Southern Athletics. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Please enjoy responsibly. Optum Orthopedics, your team, your community, your freedom. Optum Orthopedics, they're here for you. And by Savannah Hilton Head International Airport and the Savannah Airport Commission. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now let's head live inside Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reid.
Eagle Nation, it is great to see you again. One more time, we're at Wild Wing Cafe for Hail Southern Live on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield. 60 minutes worth of Georgia Southern athletics talk. Plenty of Eagle football coming up a little bit later on after that dominant 26-6 win in Conway last Saturday. Eagles are 7-4 overall, 5-2 in conference play. They've given themselves a chance to win the East Division Championship, but two things need to happen. Number one, Eagles got to beat App State 6 o'clock on Saturday, and they have to hope that James Madison does the same, taking down Marshall. That game doesn't start until 8, so this won't be sorted out until the wee hours of late in Saturday night or wee hours of Sunday morning. But if both of those happen, then the Georgia Southern Eagles will be playing for a Sun Belt Conference championship on December the 7th. But it's going to be Senior Day this weekend. It's also the culmination of Hate Week. It's the Blue Out. So we're hoping to pack Paulson one more time and set an attendance record inside the prettiest little stadium in America. Send us your questions at GS Sports Network, or you can do so on Facebook Live. Tonight we're going to begin with a little bit of Georgia Southern compliance since National Signing Day. The early period is next Wednesday, just 9 days from now. Please welcome in Georgia Southern's Director of Compliance, Matt Varnadoe, to Wild Wing Cafe. This might be the first time we have ever talked compliance on Hail Southern Live, so you're breaking a record.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people just really love compliance.
I've noticed that.
You know, it's definitely an exciting field.
You got here a little bit more than a year ago, started October the 1st of last year, so in roughly 13 months, what have you noticed about Eagle Nation, especially from the position that you occupy?
Yeah, so Georgia Southern's my fourth school that I've had the pleasure of working at, and I cannot explain, like, the fandom that is in this area. It's truly something special at every school that I've been at, including another Sun Belt member. The Eagle Nation is something that is very, very special. The intensity of the crowds, the power of Paulson, all of that is what is just incredible.
Now, one of your former stops was that school in Harrisonburg, so is there anybody you may be able to call to help things and maybe help the Eagles out on Saturday nights so we can get this conference title game?
Yeah, I'll say the plan is in place.
Okay.
The plan is in place, so all we got to do is pack Paulson.
From the position that you work in, you're not only involved with roughly 450 student athletes, all 17 sports. I would imagine that communication is one of the most important parts of your job.
Yeah, that's right, and a lot of what we deal with as a smaller staff is relying heavily on education, trusting our student athletes, trusting our coaches, trusting our staff to absorb the knowledge and then letting them go do their thing. And then when they have questions or concerns, then having that ability to call us, talk us through scenarios, and really just give them the ability and the trust to go out there and make their own decisions for what's best for their program. But again, the trust, the communication, and the education is what's paramount for an industry in compliance.
With everything that's been added to the plate of a student athlete, whether that's ongoing or a prospective student athlete, how has the scope of your role changed in these last few years?
Yeah, so one of the big things that the NCAA has been going through recently is a movement of deregulation. Compliance is not the same field that it was 10 years ago when I got into this. It truly is about working through, quote unquote, the gray area and trying to figure out different scenarios, where are our pitfalls, what's our risk level, so to say, and just working through coaches and trying to figure out a way to get to the yes answer, which is, you know, I like to think I do a pretty good job of that, but it's really up to our coaches and again, having their trust to give us the scenarios to work through.
I want to say the NIL summit that we had was right around the time that you got started here. So is your number one trying to share your knowledge on compliance, but also talk about it in what it means to Georgia Southern? What was that like to share that message to all those prospective student athletes?
Yeah, the name, image, and likeness has been the big thing that's really popped up over the last couple of years. It's such a great thing for our student athletes to be able to take advantage of through the name, image, and likeness endeavors, through our Eagle Nation Collective. And it's definitely something that the more we can empower our student athletes to go out there, work the industry, know what they're doing, is going to put them in a place to succeed.
How much more are you talking directly with student athletes now? Or are you talking more with them now?
Yeah, we have a pretty good setup here at Georgia Southern where I handle a lot of the rules side of the name, image, and likeness. But we really put a lot of onus on Amy Hughes and the athlete brand management group. So she truthfully is doing a little bit more work hand to hand with the athletes, but we're always there as backup to kind of help vet scenarios. A lot of companies still reach out to us first, and then that's where Amy Hughes and I have a really good relationship to kind of bounce ideas off each other, pass little tidbits of information off to each other, and really just working together as a team.
I would think in this position, a lot of what you do is telling people what they can't do. Are you ever in a spot where you could tell someone what they can do?
Yeah, it's funny. We were just talking about it back at the table. You know, like I said, the NCAA has gone to more of a model of deregulation, and so there used to be a lot of things that you can't do, and that's something we actually we work with a lot of our older coaches on. Is we know that this used to be a rule, however, the model has changed. So what can we do now? And that's where I like to give it as a risk level, right? Here's where your big no-nos are, but here's how we can kind of navigate this and kind of work within the.
You also spend a measure of time working as the women's soccer sport admin. Describe what that's like.
The women's soccer program is so fun. It's a great group of girls, and I'm really glad you asked me that question. But it's a really fun program. Being a sport administrator with them is really being close with the team, helping navigate some of their team-specific issues and team-specific deals that they have going on. Being right into the, into the trenches with them. So it's really special.
With the elimination of, I know NIL is all we've talked about for a couple of years, but the other reverse part of that acronym, NLI, was the National Letter of Intent. That program was wiped out not too long ago. It's something that happened back in the 60s. But in your position, how does the elimination of that help streamline the admission process?
Yeah, so the National Letter of Intent actually just went away about in October. It's really, truthfully, not that big of a change that's going to happen on a day-to-day level. Really what they're going to do, the old method was we'd send out the National Letter of Intent, which was essentially just a contract, and then we'd also include a scholarship offer.
Okay.
And now it's just going to be the scholarship offer is going to act as that contract now with some language and some things in there like that. But truthfully, not much is going to change other than they're going to sign a slightly different sheet of paper. It's going to have some more institutional word marks and things of that nature. But coming up December 4th. I know Coach Helton's back there ready for the big horses to sign come next Wednesday.
Is this you in the FOC all day Wednesday, or how would you describe the enhanced level of communication that exists on that day?
Yeah, so the game plan right now is to be at the FOC around 6:30 a.m. on Wednesday, December 4th. We'll be there until we get everyone signed that we need to be signed. Last year, I want to say we were done and out by 11 a.m. You know, signing day is really fun in that way, where sometimes you truthfully don't know, and you know, we just want to be there with our coaches and help support them through any kind of weird situations that might come up. Sometimes parents have questions. They want to ask somebody right before they sign, and then it's just good to be in the room with all the coaches.
Linebacker Reid Dedman is going to join us a little bit later as well. We got a question in about him. Is there any way you can find him a 7th year so he could come back and play in 2025?
Reid, do you want to play a 7th year? Reid, we'll talk an NIL deal for myself if you want that 7th year, and I'm sure I can make something happen, all right?
All right, what's game day at Paulson like for you as we close up?
Yeah, so at the start of the game day, we go over and help the football staff with some of the recruiting operations. We're kind of there helping handle recruiting tickets. Again, being there is just an extra level of support. We're not there from a monitoring standpoint by any means, but we're there to help and see, hey, where's some slack that we can help? Like, hey, we need to get this guy a chair, or we need to escort somebody to the bathroom just to help out, right? And so we do that at first, and then as the gates open, I actually transition over to the ticket at the gates, and then kind of help welcome people into Paulson. I typically stand at gate 12. If anybody's here, want to come say hi over to me at gate 12 on Saturday, I'll be there to give you a bright smile.
6 o'clock kickoff on Saturday for the regular season finale against Appalachian State. We're live at 4 from the Tailgate Law with the Cutwater Spirits Tailgate Show. Matt, thanks for the time. Appreciate you being here tonight.
Yeah, thanks, Danny.
That's Director of Compliance Matt Varnadoe. The Big Horse Clay Helton up on stage. Talking Eagle football from Hale Southern Live Wild Wing Cafe after this, powered by Learfield.
Since 1945, the SAC Company has established its reputation by safely providing high-quality construction services. The SAC Company consistently demonstrates the highest level of professionalism, safety, and attention to details. Their hands-on experience in all phases of construction assure that you will get quality performance in a timely and cost-effective method. Accountability, care, excellence, innovation, integrity, safety, teamwork. The SAC Company. We bring business to life.
It's game day. What do you take to the tailgate? A flat screen TV? Take it to the tailgate. Your wife's favorite blender? A DJ sound system? With a Ford F-150 truck, you can take it all. With available Pro Power onboard that acts like a mobile generator, you can use F-150 to take your tailgate to the next level. See your local Ford dealer and score a great offer on F-150. See owner's manual for important operating instructions.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
When it comes to your heating and cooling needs, don't sacrifice your comfort. Ogeechee Heating and Air has served Southeast Georgia and surrounding communities for more than 15 years. With more than 35 years of industry experience, these licensed and insured heating contractors have the experience and know-how to get your HVAC job done right the first time. Whether you're selecting a new heating or cooling system, repairing an existing system, or you just want lower energy bills and a healthier home, Ogeechee Heating and Air has the service and expertise you're looking for. Call today, 912-739-4035.
BBWH Insurers, owned and operated by Georgia Southern alumni, has been serving Southeast Georgia since 1888. Our partnerships with quality A-rated carriers such as Central Mutual Insurance Companies provide affordable and comprehensive coverage for your family and business. BBWH Insurers protects and supports our own. That's our true blue promise to you. Call me, Brad Powell, at 912-764-9602 or visit us online at bbwhins.com and go Eagles.
Eagle Nation, I'm here with Morris Bank Chairman and CEO Spence Mullis. Now, Spence, I know Morris Bank has deep roots to Georgia Southern.
That's right. We have a lot of Eagles on our team here at Morris Bank, and we know what it means to bleed blue. We always say it pays to bank blue because we believe, like Georgia Southern football, that getting after it every day with a strong work ethic leads to success. We're proud to be this year's season presenting sponsor of Georgia Southern football and to show our support for Eagle Nation. Morris Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Pioneer Design and Marketing is the official marketing partner of Georgia Southern Athletics. Serving clients locally and globally, Pioneer is a design and digital marketing studio helping courageous brands stake their claim in crowded markets. From logos to websites to digital marketing strategies, these proud Georgia Southern alumni will get the right message in front of the right people to help you gain new ground. Pioneer Design and Marketing, building brands that gain new ground. Find them online at madeby.pioneer.com.
The Eagles soar here.
Offensive rebound and a putback. Two-handed slam.
We are expecting to have to play 40 minutes.
We definitely want to give fans a show.
Got to give our guys a great plan and get them locked in to go into execute it.
Step back, left wing three. Yes! Yes!
Just enjoying every moment, soaking it all in.
Listen to the Eagles take flight all year.
We stayed together, battled through adversity, and walked out of here with a win. And at the end of the day, that's all that matters.
On the Georgia Southern Sports Network from Learfield.
French, another play fake, going left for Marcus Sanders. He got it! What a catch! Wings up, Eagle Nation! Touchdown, Georgia Southern! First touchdown of the season for Marcus Sanders. It put the Eagles ahead 10-0, and they stayed ahead for two scores for much of the contest in a convincing 26-6 win up in Conway last Saturday over Coastal. Regular season victory number 7, giving the Eagles a chance at number 8 and also a shot at an East Division championship if they get some help in Harrisonburg from James Madison, if they can take down Marshall. As Hail Southern Live continues from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro, brought to you this and each week by our friends at Georgia Power. Georgia Power, a Southern company. Hate Week begins now with App State coming to town this Saturday, 40th all-time meeting. Eagles won here 2 years ago. We'll get to that more in just a little bit. They've split the last 8 meetings in Statesboro. It is a 6 o'clock kick. We'll be live at 4 p.m. Talk a little bit more about that. Eagle Nation, please welcome in football head coach Clay Helton to Wild Wing Cafe.
Thank you, guys.
You know, bowl eligibility was achieved. 7 wins, another check mark, if you will. But what it did, like we just talked about, it gives your team a chance to play for a championship.
Yeah, you know, having the opportunity, we're going to have over 30 seniors on that field, you know, for their last regular season game. And I think about, you know, being our 3rd season, I'm looking at Reid and I'm looking at Tyler Fromm right now and seeing guys that, you know, when we first got together and those 30 seniors 3 years ago, they took a place. I've always believed try to take a place and when you leave, make it better. And that's what they've done. You know, they've put us in a position in the last game of the season to be contending for a championship and have a chance to go to the championship game. Now we've got to go do our job. But I think about how far they've come as a group, how far they've come as men, and just really proud of the team that they've created. I wish I could say it's coaching. It's not. It's a player-driven culture, and the players make it what it is, and they've made it really special.
What is senior day like for a head coach?
Sad, to be honest with you. You know, it's. I've always felt like I've got 3 children by birth, and 125 I get the honor to adopt. The relationships never go away, but Last game at Coastal, that was a special moment because I saw 70 men just play like sixth graders again, and just have a blast. And when you see a bunch of older kids that know it's coming to the end and there's so much on the line, and they play fast, they play free, they have fun, and they're playing for each other. That's neat to see. And so, it'll be emotion when you hug their neck for the last time at Paulson. But I can promise you this: they're going to go on and be great representatives of Eagle Nation.
It's no doubt that college football and college athletics as a whole, it's turned into big business. Everything, it seems, is about money now. But how do you remind yourself that you got to have fun doing this?
Oh my gosh, yeah. We don't have jobs. I mean, we're as coaches, we're highly paid phys ed teachers. I mean, and we get the opportunity to be a part of young men's lives, student athletes' lives, and these different sports that we coach. And we're getting to do what we love, and we got to remember that. Play and coach for the enjoyment of the game.
When you see them, do you remember what it was like to play?
Oh yeah, definitely. I wish I still could. I think I can in my mind, but the body won't let me do it anymore.
That just had to be so enjoyable. Last Saturday, we had talked the week before that 3 of the road victories were after losses. Now you do it for a 4th time. Eagles had not won 4 road games in a season since 2018. Defensively, that's what won you that game. 280 yards, 4 turnovers. They had 35 net yards on their final 3 drives, and you forced those 3 turnovers down the stretch.
Yeah, this has been such a responding group, to be able to come back on the road after a loss and be able to correct the things that lost you the game previous. Had 0 turnovers versus Troy, you go out and get 4.
Yeah.
Third downs, 11 of 14. At versus Troy, now you go 2 of 12. And hold them and get off the field. So not only were the turnovers, but the third downs critical. But it created unbelievable field position for our offense, and that's why you look up and you've got a three-score differential.
Some of the names we kept talking about on Saturday that we haven't said a ton of in 2024. You heard from Marcus Sanders, his 2nd career touchdown. DeAndre Morris comes up with his first pick as an Eagle. Dorian Smith comes up with his first pick as an Eagle. Davion Rhodes comes up with the forced fumble. He gets the sack on that play. Jacob Ferguson recovers. Guys being asked to step up to give you a chance to win a championship. That's where you see how much depth you really have.
Yeah, definitely. Coming into the season, I thought this was a different team because of our depth. I thought we could have a stronger November because, we could suffer an injury and not lose a lack of production. And there you go. You talk about Dorian and having the opportunity. All of a sudden, Tracy has a dislocated finger. He goes out to get it fixed. And he comes in, not only makes a huge pass breakup, but has a huge interception for us. So we keep developing each and every person, not just the ones, but the 2s, the 3s. Jalen Bentley, true freshman in there, makes a huge tackle in the second half for us, And then you talked about DeAndre, you talked about Chance, you just talked about guys all over the place making plays for each other. And it's neat to see when you know you can count. You put 70 men on a bus, you drive up there, and they find a way all together, every man finding a way to make a play to help win a game.
I'm glad you brought up Jalen Bentley because Anthony Beck made an amazing observation during the game. When he got his reps during that second half, if you zoom in, you see the green dot on his helmet. So Braden Bailey is talking directly to him as he's having a chance to play meaningful snaps for the first time in his career.
Yeah, definitely. We have four green dots on each side of the ball. You're only allowed to have 1 on at a time,
right.
And so we're able to switch in and out of helmets based on if somebody needs help. And Jalen getting his first opportunity for, in this technology world and being able to talk to a young man all the way up to 15 seconds on the play clock, that's huge. And that can help a rookie go out there and perform. And, man, did he perform. Made a huge tackle on that big back for us and created a 3rd and long. So, really credit to Brandon Bailey of continuing to develop guys and then Jalen taking that development.
Okay, before we hit our next break, I got to put you back in the mind of a quarterback because you played the position at Houston and at Auburn. How would you have reacted if you had the voice from above in your helmet up to 15 seconds on the play clock?
I think half the time, I think the players once we get the play and start coaching them all the way through it, sometimes I wish they had the button. I think they wish they had the button to cut it off. But it does help. I think that it's something that has been used in the NFL. I'm so glad that it's come to college football. I think the days of the signaling and things like that are gone away. You haven't heard any issues, this whole season about that. It's made the game better, really, and it's allowed us to play the game freer.
I think the fact that Georgia Southern was proactive in that sense, Andy Harris and his staff did such an amazing job at the beginning of camp getting all that ready.
Yeah, definitely. We got to use the opportunity to test it out in spring, have it during fall camp. Really got used to it, and Brandon and Coach Applin have done a masterful job with it all the way through.
Keep our talk going with Head Coach Clay Helton. We'll do so after this timeout. We are at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. You're watching and listening to Hail Southern Live on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Eagle Nation, this is Kennedy Finch, the Executive Director of the Eagle Nation Collective. Your passion fuels our pride, and we're looking to add to our roster at the Eagle Nation Collective. For as little as $1 a day, you can help our athletes train harder, play smarter, and create those championship moments. We want to see 2,000 new members by the end of the season, and Eagle Nation, we need you to help us get there. Together, let's soar higher than ever before. Visit EagleNationNIL.com to join the Eagle Nation Collective today.
Your cargo transportation choice in Savannah and the Southeast. For freight management, consolidation, warehousing, and more, including flexible and responsive drayage solutions. Your success is our final destination. Savannah Logistics Group.
A logistics company that strives to deliver the best drivers, employees, and customer experience through our core values of empowerment, innovation, and consistency. Savannah Logistics Group, a proud supporter of Georgia Southern Athletics.
College sports fans now have access to hundreds of weekly podcasts that zero in on the college sports world. Now available in the Varsity Podcast Network and part of the new Varsity app. The app is free and available from wherever you get your favorite apps. Download the Varsity app today to have access to hundreds of national podcasts as well as your favorite team-focused podcasts. The Varsity Podcast Network, now available for free on the Varsity app. Download from the App Store and listen today.
A true teammate takes on every day with a winner's attitude, gets up when they fall down, and leaves it all on the field. There's a group of teammates who do all these things every single day. But they're more than your typical athlete. They're kids dealing with unthinkable medical circumstances. Team Impact matches children facing serious illness or disability with college sports teams, creating a long-term, life-changing experience for everyone involved. Help us get all kids in the game. Visit teamimpact.org. Team Impact. All in, all together.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Hey y'all, this is Michael Felder, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country every week during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way through the national championship game in January. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to get your favorite podcast. And be sure to follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
Powered by Learfield. Welcome back to Hail Southern Live, presented by Morris Bank. Make sure to tweet your questions to @GS Sports Network. Now, let's return live to Wild Wing Cafe. Once again, here's the voice of the Eagles, Danny Reid.
Hail Southern Live, brought to you in part by our friends at Core Credit Union as we continue the Eagle football talk from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Another 30 minutes or so. Sixth-year senior linebacker Reid Dedman will join us next segment as he set the school record for games played last weekend. Everybody getting set for the culmination of Hate Week on Saturday. Deeper Than Hate is what they called 40th all-time meeting. Georgia Southern's most played rival, Appalachian State, comes down off the top of the mountain from Boone. We'll kick it off at 6, live at 4. Eagles need to win and have Marshall lose at James Madison to win the East Division and play for the conference title on December the 7th. There is a chance the Eagles could host that game, but let's just sort things out. Let's let things happen, and we'll get that to you when we get that to you. And, Coach, in the case of being in contention for a championship, you think back to your times at USC. You won 3 Pac-12 Souths. You won it all in 2017. When things really got down to the nitty-gritty, what is the emphasis in practice, just in your everyday activities, about trying to approach things the right way?
Yeah, it's really not about the hype of the game. It's about the preparation. And our kids have done a nice job of that this year, of staying in the moment and really concentrating on the day and trying to win the day. And, you know, Tuesdays are so important to us practice-wise. It's our one opportunity to go full pads, be able to go live contact against each other some also, get full speed reps. And so it's really about the preparation leading up to Saturday. We always talk about you win the game today. You know, you don't win on Saturday, you win it with the preparation today. And our kids have really been disciplined and set the standard in doing that, not only in their meetings, not only in their walkthroughs, but the practices that we have.
Is there a heightened sense of things, or are you kind of jittery at your chair and you're just amped to get on the field even more? You want to watch more film? You just want to make sure every T and I are I's dotted and T's are crossed?
Well, if I could bottle last week with just the vibe of our football team, I thought they really, like I said, I thought they played free. I thought they played fast, had a ton of fun, and they played for each other. And just the energy on the sideline, even Miss Angela was up in the crowd. The crowd energy was great also with the folks that came from Statesboro and were a part of us. So bottle all that up and take it again. Just repeat it this week. But no, I think our kids are in a really good place. They're excited about this game. Obviously, a rivalry game. A lot on the line for both teams. App State playing for a bowl eligibility after a really hard season on what's going on, you know, in Western North Carolina, and then us having the opportunity to compete for the championship game.
Yeah, in one way, the experience of people in this region with Hurricane Helene, the impact was felt, but it doesn't even compare to what happened in Tennessee, Western North Carolina. Asheville's going to take so long to get back to normal. But as much as these two are rivals, you certainly feel for them and a lot of what was lost, but a lot of what they have found in these last few weeks.
I'd tell you what, credit to Coach Clark. I mean, we love competing against App State, and we compete hard against each other. But there's a level of respect that we have for Coach Clark and that program and what they've accomplished this year. I can't imagine what they went through, you know, having to go through that physically as a team, but also having concerns for your family, what's going on from a staff standpoint, player standpoint. And then you look up, you can see a strong football team that is bonded because they're playing their best football right now. You know, to be able to go play James Madison, who's a really good team, last week, have 0 turnovers, 0 penalty yards, play really clean, and win a game in that fashion speaks volumes to the job Coach Clark is doing.
All the coaches get a chance to get together during Sunbelt Media Day, and then you're not seeing each other unless you're on each other's schedule. But when you have something like that, do you find yourself more aware of what's going on with other schools? Have you had a chance to speak with Coach Clark and just offer whatever you can?
Well, I called and left a message, you know, in the moment, knowing that I can't imagine what he's going through, but just offered to say, hey, Coach, if you need anything from us, if there's any way we can help, I hope you're doing good. You know, we've had the opportunity to have dinner together at the Sunbelt Media Days. You know, got a lot of respect for him. Old O-line, he's an O-line coach. I'm an O-line coach's son. You know, and then when the ball's put down, we play as hard as 2 men can possibly compete and 2 teams can possibly compete, because we know how special it is for our university, for our fans, and for the players. But got a lot of respect for Coach and the job he does.
As intense as this game is and as hard as you guys go, it's not just a day-by-day thing, but going back to the first week of August when camp began, to reach a week this late in the season and just say, let's be free, let's have fun. How did you discover that? How did you get there?
You know, felt it at Troy. You know, Troy played a really, really good game that took us into the fourth quarter, and just felt like we were tight all the way around, from a young coaching staff to, you know, a team. and walked into the staff meeting on Sunday and said to our coaching staff, hey, they're going to react how we react. Understand that, having done it for 30 years. We played tight, and it has to start with us. So go on the attack. We said F it. Yeah. Basically F it. Have fun, play free, play fast, and play for each other. And the kids, we sold it to them all week, and credit to them. They carried it over into that game, and they lived it. And sometimes you talk about it, you hope the players will go out there and live it, and they did. So I appreciate the trust that they had in us as a staff, and listening to it and then carrying it forward.
You've had a lot of T-shirt quotes this year. If there's something that comes from that, William Martin may be a little bit busy making another T-shirt.
There you go. That's what I'm here for, points, wins, and T-shirts.
There's another one. Going into an app game where this is your third opportunity to coach in what has been known as deeper than hate, whether it's Boone, whether it's Statesboro, we speak so much about the energy of a stadium when those two get together. Paulson, of course, but also in Boone with their 34,000 plus. But how would you tell someone who doesn't know about this rivalry, what is this rivalry?
Yeah, there's some special matchups across the country that I've had the good fortune to be a part of. Having played at Auburn, being a part of an Auburn-Alabama game.
Absolutely.
Being at USC Notre Dame, which is happening this weekend. Now there is no difference between the highest level of rivalry game and the passion that comes from the fans than Georgia Southern and App State. I felt it. You don't know until your boots are on the ground, but when that first game when we went in double overtime, and you feel the electricity from the first play to the last play of double overtime, and you see those fans and what it meant to them, it still gives me goosebumps. Because how special it is to them. And then went to Boone last week and felt the same thing, how important it was to them. So you're playing a game, and you're playing for something that's bigger than yourself. And that's special. That's expectation, that's pressure, and I've always thought pressure is a privilege. So to be a part of that special a rivalry, to have so much on the line, for both teams, man, that's what you live for. The last game of the year on Thanksgiving, gosh almighty. You pinch yourself because that's special to be a part of.
Reid Dedman coming up next, talking about setting the school record for games played last weekend. He gets one more round against App State this weekend. We'll talk with him next. Hail Southern Live continues from Wild Wing Cafe on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.
Don't let an injury keep you on the sidelines. So go where the pros go. Optum Orthopedics. They're the official orthopedics and team physicians for Georgia Southern Athletics. Thanks to Optum, our Eagles get the best care on and off the field. The good news is that Optum is here for you too. Located in our community, Optum is the leader in advanced orthopedic care throughout the Southeast. Like the Eagles, you deserve the freedom to soar. With Optum's fellowship-trained orthopedic surgeons, you will. Your team, your community, your freedom. Optum Orthopedics, they're here for you.
Did you know that Yancey Rents is a Georgia-owned rental company serving Georgia since 1914? Yancey Rents has excavators, dozers, backhoe loaders, small dump trucks, water trucks, concrete saws, light towers, scissor lifts, and so much more. We've got a huge selection of equipment ready to be rented today. Call 844-YNC-RENT or check us out at yanceyrents.com. With 16 locations around the state and a new expanded lineup of equipment ready to be rented right now, Yancey Rents wants to be your preferred rental supplier in Georgia.
Some days you hit snooze, but not today. Today you have to go on a run to get burgers for the tailgate. You've got to haul something heavy, a cooler stocked with Bud Light. When you've got beer and football, nothing is hard, until the other team scores. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Enjoy responsibly. 21 plus, copyright 2024, Anheuser-Busch, Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Since 1945, the SAC Company has established its reputation by safely providing high-quality construction services. The SAC Company consistently demonstrates the highest level of professionalism, safety, and attention to details. Their hands-on experience in all phases of construction assure that you will get quality performance in a timely and cost-effective method. Accountability, care, excellence, innovation, integrity, safety, teamwork. The SAC Company. We bring business to life.
Hey there, Eagle Nation. Do you like to buy local,
How about natural and sustainable? The next time you go and buy some Eagle merchandise, make sure to buy cotton. Cotton is grown right here in Georgia by local farmers in every corner of the state. Cotton from Georgia is as true blue as Sweetheart Circle or Eagle Creek. Support your community by buying cotton. This message is brought to you by the family farmers of the Georgia Cotton Commission.
Eagle Nation, this is William Martin from Southern Exchange Company. We're proud to always bring you the best selection of Georgia Southern gear for game day and every day. Make sure to stop by and visit us at our store across from campus on Chandler Road or online at southernexchangecompany.com. Follow Southern Exchange on social media at SXC Statesboro for the latest gear in stock. Southern Exchange Company, the official merchandiser of Georgia Southern Athletics.
I love watching my child grow through football, learning values and life skills that extend beyond the playing field. Now, there are more ways to play than ever before, from flag to tackle and beyond, with opportunities for boys and girls at any age. To find the right team, explore FutureForFootball.com's new League Locator tool and explore nearby leagues. It's never been easier to get your family involved in the game.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
There was flames on that ball.
The speed.
35, 40. There he goes. Down the sideline.
The best in college football.
For the end zone. Got it for 6 points. You can unhitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back to the end zone. 30, 20.
This is the College Football Blitz. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network.
Gun snap swing route there. Blown up, though. Reid Dedman got around the block and makes the tackle back at the 26-yard line. The swing route was in the direction of Garwo, but Dedman was on it. Hail Southern Live continues from Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. About 20 minutes left. We'll get Coach Helton back up to talk more about Appalachian State during our final segment. But going to talk with not just an Eagle player, but the all-time leader in games played. He played in his 65th career game this past Saturday at Conway. Eagle Nation, give it up for him. Reid Dedman to Wild Wing Cafe. How does it feel to be a school record holder?
Feels pretty cool, to be honest with you. That's what talking with Miss Whitney this morning. I stepped out there for the first time on that kickoff, and I knew I had broken the record. It was pretty cool.
What was the photo shoot like of you with the 65? You look like Will Chamberlain a little bit, holding up the number.
Yeah, they had hooked me up in July when they had told me about that I could possibly break the record. I had to knock on some wood so that I'd make it, but I thank the good Lord keeping me healthy, and it's pretty cool.
You know, a week ago, Bo Johnson was here, fellow 60-year senior. He's only played in a piddly 52 games. You played in 65. I'm just kidding, of course, but number one, what do you most attribute that to, and what kept you coming back to the program?
Number one thing, yeah, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, and I couldn't do anything without him, man, and my family. You know, they've always pushed me to be more than I am, you know, and coming back this next year and these past two, they've always given me the support and telling me, you know, like, if this is what you want to do, like, we're fully behind you, and that's really been the main thing.
Are there things that pop up more than others when you think about your career? Is there a memory or two that just keeps coming up?
I got a couple games, yeah. JMU in 2022, that's probably number one on my list. And then all the big away games. We got Ole Miss, Arkansas, Nebraska, obviously. That's a big one for me, too.
Yeah. JMU was your only career start. You had 7 tackles that night. Georgia Southern had some injuries at linebacker, and you guys ended up coming back from the big deficit to win at the end. Was there something specific about your contribution that game that was particularly memorable?
Yeah, I had a forced fumble right in the middle of that game, kind of swung the momentum our way, and that was a special moment. That definitely is top of my list, the special moments here.
It's neat to have you on for App State Week as well, because you had your first career sack against App back in 2020.
Yep.
In a year where we didn't know week to week if we were going to have football, and you end up having a moment like that against an arch rival.
Yeah, that was a crazy season too, because I think it was us and Alabama were the only 2 schools to play a full season that year. But yeah, it was cool. First career sack. This just kind of comes back to all that hard work you put in, and that was kind of my first really big play of my career, and that was pretty special too.
What about the natural adversity of dealing with COVID that year and then the hurricane that just tore through the southeastern part of the country a couple of months back? To go through that but to still be here and to come out on the other side, what have you learned about your ability to withstand and endure?
Yeah, just being resilient, staying true to my process of what I do day in and day out. Just keeping the main thing, and that's the love of the game that I have, and that's what keeps me going each and every day.
How much do you, as a senior and some of the other guys in your class, how much do you think about maybe that 2021 season to now being bowl eligible for 3 straight years, but specifically potentially playing for a spot in the conference championship game this weekend?
Yeah, it's 2 ends of the spectrum. That 2021 season, battled a lot of stuff, losing our head coach, and ended up 3-9. That was tough. Hard to come in on those days, but now, coming in this week, everything's on the line. We got to go win, and hopefully some things play in our favor. It is definitely 2 ends of the spectrum, and I'm glad that we have this opportunity in front of us now.
Do you remember one of your first or some of those early interactions with Coach Helton when he got here in late 2021?
Oh, yeah, coming out there, I guess it would be him being at practice towards the end of that year, kind of looking over your shoulder. That was definitely something I always kept seeing him behind and just watching, not really saying too much, but watching us.
Having been a part of the App State rivalry 5 times, you've seen the wins, you've seen the losses, you've seen Boone, you've seen Statesboro. How would you tell someone about it from a player's viewpoint?
I don't know if I could say too much about it on camera, but yeah, it is pretty rough. It's definitely a little bit more chippy in those games, and you definitely can tell you're coming to compete. Like, those guys don't like us, we don't like them, and it is special. I love playing in that game each and every year.
You take care of your business in the classroom. If we were able to tally it up correct, you've been a 10-time member of the honor roll, 4-time Sunbelt Academic Honor Roll, 2-time Dean's List. You were a 4.0 student in the spring of 21. To have that part of your life so impressive so you can do what you want to do as well, how did you tie up all those loose ends?
Hopefully being a double eagle. Finish up my master's here soon, but having the opportunity to have that paid for too as well has been huge. But yeah, I just always, my parents have been hard on me in school, and they always kept that being the main thing, and I'm glad that they did that, because now I do have 2 degrees, and then looking to stepping into the coaching world after this, so it'd be huge to have both of those.
To be such a standout player from Carrollton, Georgia, be a kick-blocking standout, we talked about that a couple times at practice before, but to be able to have this kind of impact at the FBS level, how much more meaning is there behind all of it?
Yeah, it's definitely crazy growing up, just a kid from Carrollton. Not too much, going to church on Sundays, and we go play ball just throughout the week. That's what I did growing up, and I never thought I'd be in this situation. I really didn't. Things just kind of fell into place for me to come to Georgia Southern, and it is a dream come true. Yeah, you don't think about it too much, playing with your brothers growing up. You're just playing ball, and then when you get here and then you finally made it and get to making big plays, it's pretty cool.
2019, you got here to become the person you are right now. What would this person that's sitting here tell that person now that you know what you know?
Yeah, just keep pushing, There's going to be some ups and some downs, and there's probably been some more downs than ups, but you just got to keep going. And like I said, I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. He has kept me healthy, prosperous, and it's been a huge part of my life too.
You get a chance to take Paulson one more time, hopefully one more time after that, if the fate and the schedule is out there for a chance to host a conference championship game. But let's just say that this Saturday is the last time you take to the field. You'll see your family, you'll see Coach Helton, you'll be honored as one of the seniors. What will you be thinking about?
So I did it last year, and it's kind of surreal. Getting towards the end of the game is when it kind of hits you, thinking about this is going to be your last time, and I'm glad I got to do it again. But having that experience from last year, I'll definitely take it a little bit more in, knowing this is definitely going to be my last one in Paulson.
To speak with Bo Johnson last week about doing it for 6 years, for you doing it for 6 years,
for someone that needs a lesson about how to stick it out and what can be on the other end. I think you can inspire a lot of people with your story. I really appreciate you being here tonight and appreciate you for being who you are.
Thank you.
That's linebacker Reid Dedman, the school record holder for games played. We'll visit one more time with Clay Helton. Actually, we've got something we got to do first. I almost forgot. We've got 4 tickets. Reid brought up 4 tickets for the game this weekend. We got a trivia question. When we hit this break, all you have to do is be the first person up on stage and tell me the answer, and you'll get 4 tickets. In the 2022 App State win, who scored the game-winning touchdown? Nobody yell it. Wait for the break. Come up, tell us. The tickets are yours. Who scored the game-winning touchdown against App State 2022? Anybody in the restaurant's eligible. Break time now. Coach Helton rejoins us in a moment. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield. Eagle Nation, this is Danny Reid reminding you to catch a new edition of the Inside Eagle Nation podcast every Tuesday on gseagles.com and the Varsity Network app. We'll catch you up on the week that was and preview the week that will be. We've got stories, we've got history, we've got everything you love about Georgia Southern athletics, all on the Inside Eagle Nation podcast. That's every Tuesday on gseagles.com and the Varsity Network app, covering all things blue and white. Tune in each Tuesday for Inside Eagle Nation.
Hey, Eagle fans! The 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Georgia Southern football games or to any other live event in your area, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of the Georgia Southern Eagles. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
Yellowwood knows that a 5-star backyard is the place to make lasting memories. Like roasting marshmallows on a cool fall night. That's it. Turn it nice and slow. Get it toasted all... Oh, no, it's on fire. Oh, you want it on fire. Okay, that's a choice, I guess. Crunchy. For 5-star backyards and the most memorable experiences, Yellowwood brand pressure-treated pine. If it doesn't have that yellow tag, you don't want it.
When it comes to your heating and cooling needs, don't sacrifice your comfort. Ogeechee Heating and Air has served Southeast Georgia and surrounding communities for more than 15 years. With more than 35 years of industry experience, these licensed and insured heating contractors have the experience and know-how to get your HVAC job done right the first time. Whether you're selecting a new heating or cooling system, repairing an existing system, or you just want lower energy bills and a healthier home, Ogeechee Heating and Air has the service and expertise you're looking for. Call today, 912-739-4035.
What's up, fans? This is Roddy Jones, co-host of College Sports Now. We're breaking down all the action from around the country weekly during the football season. We'll look beyond the box score and keep our finger on the pulse of college football from September all the way to the national championship game in January, from the East Coast to the West Coast. Listen all season long on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you love to get your podcast. And while you're at it, be sure to give us a follow along on Twitter at CSNowTweets.
The grind does not stop.
Goes up and hammers it with a right hand. Step back, left wing, 3. Yes! Yes! With 17 left!
Hail Southern and GATA.
They're competing each day, playing really hard, and that's a foundational thing for us.
Just stand confident, stand in the gym.
When people watch us play, we want our effort to stand out.
Follow the Eagles on the hardwood all season on the Georgia Southern Sports Network from Learfield. This is Hail Southern Live, powered by Learfield. Live at Wild Wing Cafe in Statesboro. Here's Danny Reid.
One more segment on Hail Southern Live, the App State edition. 6 o'clock kick on Saturday from Paulson Stadium at Evans Family Field. We'll be live at 4 with the Cutwater Spirits tailgate show. Congratulations to Candler. He knew the correct answer to the trivia question. Coach, of course, it was Ezra Archie that scored the game-winning touchdown against App in that double overtime thriller 2 years ago when you proclaimed that college football was indeed the best game on earth.
Without question. That's a magical night, and thanks to Ezra and Kyle Van Treese, who I just learned just got engaged.
Yes.
So proud of both those two men. That was a heck of a play and a heck of a night.
When you hear Reid Dedman speak about this year and his career here, you've been part of half of it. What were you thinking about?
Just how proud I am of that young man. You talking about being the definition of an Eagle, the definition of your culture. There's no person more mentally and physically tough than that kid. the discipline that he shows not only in his life but on the field. And then he is a team over self guy in every way. And so to be able to do it 6 years, to be as durable as he is, to be in that amount of games, 65 games is a lot of games.
Yeah,
and that's a lot on a body. And so to be there, that consistency of showing up each and every week and setting the standard, pretty special dude.
All right, November and December of 3 years ago. Do you remember looking over his shoulder like he remembers?
There was a whirlwind going on, but I remember you could kind of see it was neat to have those 3 weeks, and you could see the guys that truly loved the game during those 3 weeks, because it was a hard situation. It was a hard season, and there were some kids that were really battling for Georgia Southern, and he was one of them.
There has to be a little bit of, this is where we were, this is where we potentially could be late on Saturday night if things go the way that they hopefully do.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think about the last 3 years and how, you took this game and you had to win it to go be bowl eligible.
Right.
And then, you're bowl eligible in November last year, early November, and it doesn't happen for you to get to that last game where you're still in contention. And now, you're sitting here with more wins, more conference wins. You're sitting here, in the last game of the season, and it means something, So I wish we already had our had our ticket already done. But this team is progressing, and it has a lot to do with the kids in that locker room.
I know you've got your business to take care of. App State is more than enough to worry about, but Saturday has a chance to just be a wild day with all that could happen and for Georgia Southern that needs to happen, but it shapes up to be one of the most memorable days in recent history.
Yeah, you got 4 teams. I know on both sides.
Right.
I mean, we're fighting. You got Marshall, who's had a really good backstretch, winning 5 in a row. At James Madison, which is not an easy place to play. A good football team. You got ULL down at ULM. Fighting for their side. South Alabama hoping that they could come out with a win and a ULL loss, and a lot on the line for 4 teams, and we're glad to be one of those 4 teams that are being talked about.
You have a chance to set another attendance record at Paulson Stadium. You did so last year in terms of total in a regular season and attendance from an average standpoint. You're going to break the average attendance record again, but a chance to break that total attendance record one more time. I think the number is 17,165 that you need to have inside Paulson. When it's App State and when it's like that, how much more do you feel?
I'm so proud of Eagle Nation and so thankful for their support this year. Every time Paulson has been filled, and to break the all-time attendance record for a season, credit to our fans. They're the best in the world. It's hard to explain a Saturday at Paulson Stadium and how special it is to a community and how important it is. But I've said this a couple times to a couple friends. Georgia Southern is the last form of pure football that's out there.
Yeah.
It really is. And I'm glad to be a part of it, and glad to share it with this community because they make it special.
This game was a featured Thursday night game for a number of years when both App and Georgia Southern joined the Sun Belt at the same time. COVID ended up moving it to the end of the season in 2020, so this will be the 5th consecutive year that it has been the finale. It is part of rivalry week, and for a lot of people, it took forever to get it here, but the fact that it's part of all those other great college football rivalries, what makes it stand out amidst everybody else saying that their rivalry matters?
Well, I tell you, it goes back for 2 teams to have the success they had in FCS. Both come to FBS and now having the success that they are. Every year it seems like something's on the line as long as I have been here with these 2 teams. I'm so glad we moved it to the last game of the year. It makes it so special. It goes right into that rivalry week that everybody else is experiencing in the nation. And to be a part of that, man, Saturday's going to be fun to watch.
It's funny to think about now, but you go to the opener against Boise State, that's that's how you're going to start the season. When you got the trip to Nevada, you got Ole Miss, but always out there in the distance, it's App State, game 12. You don't know what's going to be on the line. There's going to be something, but most of the time it's going to be either one or both trying to play for a championship. And fortunately for the Eagles, it's the blue and white that gets that chance on Saturday.
Yeah, we're proud of that, and now it's time to go do our job. It is Hate Week, and we're playing a really good App State team that's very well coached with a dang good quarterback. It's time to go do our job, and that job consists of the preparation that starts tomorrow.
What makes a week getting ready for App State different?
Being able to stay in routine. I think that's the hardest thing, that you're so excited to play the game, and you know that you have to be able to put in the work to be able to accomplish something that special against a good rival. And so it's the continuing fight against being disciplined and being able to focus on your job.
Coach, best of luck to you and the guys on Saturday. Let's hope that Saturday is all about blue and white and get that shot at a championship.
Sounds good to me. Thanks, Danny. Hail Southern.
For Head Coach Clay Helton, for Reid Dedman, for Matt Varnadoe, Eagle Nation, thank you all for showing up. If there is a championship game to be had, we'll be back here next Monday to preview it. Hail Southern Live from Wild Wing Cafe is brought to you each week by Morris Bank on the Georgia Southern Sports Network, powered by Learfield.